back to Chef and Jess. Today we're gonna make some delicious pesto. It has been a weird obsession of mine lately, and I cannot stop making this recipe. So we're going to need 4 ounces of toasted pine nuts, 4 cups of fresh basil, 3 garlic cloves that we're going to mince, 1.5 cups of Parmesan, 1 cup of olive oil, and 1 tablespoon of lemon zest. First, we're going to prep some of our ingredients. We're going to toast the pine nuts, grate the Parmesan cheese, and we're going to zest the lemon. Okay, let's go. Okay, now that our Parmesan cheese is grated, our pine nuts are toasted, and our lemon is zested, we are ready to measure out our other ingredients. So we are going to get 4 cups of fresh basil ready, 1 cup of olive oil, and 3 garlic cloves to put into our food processor. A food processor is what is recommended for this recipe. I unfortunately don't have one, so I will be using my blender. If your blender is capable of doing it, definitely use that. But if you do have a food processor, that is probably way better. So let's go. Let's measure them out. Now that all of our ingredients are prepared, we are going to prepare our food processor or our blender. We're going to put in 3 cups of basil, half of our pine nuts, half of our Parmesan cheese, all of our lemon zest, mince in 2 cloves of garlic. We are going to process this for about 30 seconds, and then we are going to drizzle in 3/4 cups of our olive oil. Process this for another 30 seconds, stop, and scrape off the edges to make sure everything is mixing in. We gotta get those leaves in, Parmesan, pine nuts, everything. We want everything to process properly. We don't want anything being left behind and becoming a chunk in our pesto. So after we scrape off the edges, we're going to add in our last cup of basil, the other half of our pine nuts, the other half of our Parmesan cheese, and mince in our last garlic clove. We're going to process this for another 30 seconds. Yep, you guessed it. It's always 30 seconds. And then we're going to drizzle in our last 4th cup of olive oil. This you can either stir in by hand or you can process it for another like 10 seconds just to get it all mixed in there. I like to process it, it's just a little easier and I don't have to clean another tool. So let's get to doing that. Now our pesto is complete. Look how amazing it looks. It is so green. It is by far the greenest pesto I've ever seen / made. I mean, this is literally the only recipe I make. And it is also so satisfying cleaning off those edges. Look at that. Okay, so what you want to do with your pesto is store it in an airtight container. I'm going to put it in a mason jar, and you can also freeze it and enjoy later. If you don't want to freeze it and keep it in an airtight container in your fridge, it's gonna last maybe a week max. I would not really push it past then. It just doesn't taste as fresh and amazing as it does now. So I'm gonna put mine in my mason jar, and I'll let you know how it tastes. Okay, let's test it out. I'm gonna test my little spatula. Oh wow. Oh my god. I love this recipe. This is always such a good pesto recipe. You can put it on pasta, you can put it on bread, anything, a crostini. It goes with everything. It is so good. I am obsessed. So you can actually freeze pesto up to 6 months. So I like to make a bunch in the summer when my basil plants are really big. I'm actually going to plant these basil plants that I just kind of destroyed for this recipe so they can regrow and flourish this summer. So I like to make a bunch during the summer, freeze it. This way I have it all winter long and you can enjoy this fresh, delicious basil whenever you want. Please let me know how your pesto turns out, or if you have any other suggestions for this pesto recipe. I would love to know. And thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you soon. Bye!